Okay, so let's talk about the new Salem's Lot film. People have been wondering what happened to this movie. We were supposed to get it years ago. Well, it turns out that it is officially on its way a lot sooner than we expected, even though it's been like pushed back so much. So before we get into it and talk about this new news that we have learned about the new Gary Doberman film, Salem's Lot, make sure you hit that subscribe button, notification bell on the road to 35,000 subscribers. But this is based on Stephen King's vampire tale, Salem's Lot. So apparently what we have found out now is that this movie will be coming out in October. And apparently this also comes after Stephen King himself has wanted to know what happened. So the film was supposed to have a release date of September 2022 and was officially like gone for all of these years now. And he says, between you and me, Twitter, I've seen the new Salem's Lot and it's quite good. Old school horror filmmaking, slow build, big payoff. Not sure why WB is holding it back. Not like it's embarrassing or anything. Who knows? I just write the fucking things. So that kind of maybe got Warner Brothers like, hey, maybe we should release this. And of course, Stephen King would be worried about what's going on with the film, right? I mean, Warner Brothers Discovery has definitely not been too kind to films as of late. Batgirl was scrapped and the Looney Tunes comedy Coyote vs. Acme was scrapped and became tax write-offs. Very sad, honestly. So Doberman, who is a director, said, I had the same question everybody else did when talking to Vanity Fair. The movie was made at a time when that transition to the new ownership was happening, which was an interesting experience. At a certain point, it's out of your control. People were asking me, where's the movie? Where's the movie? I wish I had an answer for them, and other than a shrug and I don't know. So this was definitely something that a lot of people were very crucial about and wondering, don't let this movie just get lost, right? But now we know that Salem Lots will be coming to October on Max. And he says, I'm excited. It's finally getting out there and people can see it, says Doberman to Vanity Fair. So we got some first look right here of the film, and I was just wondering to myself, looking at these pictures, like, why was this film even taking this long to come out in the first place, right? So when speaking to Vanity Fair about working on Annabelle Comes Home in 2019, which was Doberman's directorial debut, he goes on to say about working now on Salem's Lot, it feels like it's a crown jewel in King's library, and I always thought it would make a great movie. Doberman actually worked on writing it as well, and of course Annabelle, and he says, most of my stuff is set in the 70s. I love the music, I do love the costumes, I just love the vibe of it. And yeah, this definitely does give a 70s vibe when looking at the pictures right here, and so it gets us very excited to see what Doberman's going to be bringing. I was a fan of Annabelle Comes Home. I know a lot of people didn't really dig it. I do think Annabelle Creation is still the superior Annabelle, but Comes Home was definitely a step above the first Annabelle as well, maybe not all the way there with Creation. Doberman goes on to say, you do a very dry version of this movie, but that's just not my personality. Doberman went on to say, you could do a very dry version of this movie, but that's just not my personality. It's trying to ride that waves up and down. You're having fun with it, and then you can have a scare, and then you're having fun again. Hopefully it feels like a complete ride at the end. This is definitely one of my favorite shots right here, the lighting and all of that. So Lewis Pullman will be starring in the film, and he was in Top Gun Maverick as well as Lessons in Chemistry. And Doberman had this to say about Lewis Pullman. He's like the perfect everyman. I wanted someone who could be the straight man to all the stuff that's going on around him, bringing some sort of groundness to what's going on. So this says, during a visit to Jerusalem's Lot to reconnect with his roots, Ben catches the eye of a local young woman named Susan Norton, played by Mackenzie Lee, a book lover who believes there must be more than this provincial life. She's a small town girl. She's trying to get out of it, says Doberman. She sees this stranger come into town, and it's, please tell me what news you bring from afar. Apparently, as their relationship grows, Ben discovers that the backbiting he remembers from the residents of his hometown has been replaced with actual neck biting. This is thanks to a new resident, a flamboyant bon vivant named Richard Straker, who opened an antique store on Main Street and moves into the dilapidated castle-like mansion that looms over the town. Straker is played by Danish actor Pilou Asbak, has a silent partner named Kurt Barlow, who only comes out at night and is a literal man-eater. Some more shots right here as well. Pillow is just fucking charismatic, Doberman says. I wanted him to really have fun with it and let him run with that character. And we had a lot of fun going, okay, do one more grounded take, do one a little bit more heightened, do one way over the top. He goes on to say, I was kind of wrestling with what this Straker was going to be. Is he going to be more like the book? Is he going to be more James Mason from the 1979 series? Doberman says, he's an outsider in this town, and I think outsiders can sometimes be looked at as something very interesting where people start start to lean in. Oh, this guy, he's opening this antique store and he's got all this cool stuff. He's weaving his web and drawing people in. We learn as well as Straker is harvesting his initial victims. The first to vanish are two boys, Big Brother Danny and little Ralphie Glick, who are played by Nicholas Covetti and Kate Woodward. Their friend is Mark Petrie, who is played by Jordan Preston Carter, who has seen enough movies to know that he should keep his window locked when a sharp-toothed schoolyard pal is floating outside. But few adults are willing to believe his claims, apart from a kindly but weary old teacher, Matthew Burke, who is played by Bill Camp, who serves as the story's Van Helsing. So in the film you have Dr. Cody, who is played by Alfred Woodard. In the film you see as Jerusalem's lot's population begins to shrink day by day, the mother of the two banished boys also begins to get an illness, and then she resuscitates in the morgue after she dies and lashes out with fangs and claws, and that's enough to convince Dr. Cody that something else is going on. You apparently also have a priest called Father Callahan, who is played by John Benjamin Hickey, but apparently he really isn't as powerful as you might want him to be. So Doberman talks about this and says, in a horror movie, you're going to go to a priest to help you, and the priest they go is a reluctant hero. He wears a collar, but he's just broken. In the book, he's an alcoholic. He's a man of faith that doesn't have any faith. I like that aspect of it too as well. And so Doberman goes on to talk more about the look and what he wanted the movie to feel like. He talks about it wanting to be like, yeah, this is a drive-in movie and giving you that classic midnight feel that movies used to have. And so he talks about wanting this experience now on the TV. And of course, we would have wanted this movie on the big screen, right? That's all how we see it. Streaming movies that have gone to theaters and done great. Evil Dead Rise. You have Alien Romulus. There's a ton of other ones, but this is definitely still one that we're excited to see, even if we have to watch it on the TV. And this is what Doberman had to say. As with most horror movies, I think audiences really elevate the experience. So I think getting as many people as you can cram on the couch would be my preferred way to watch this. So we're definitely excited to see more of Salem's Lot. And, we might do a whole watch of the first one. Should we do that? Maybe we'll see what's it streaming on and we could do a whole watch party of sorts. I said that back when I did Long Legs that I was going to plan some watch parties around Halloween. So that's something I'm definitely planning right now as we get closer to spooky season. So stay tuned. But let me know what you think about the film Salem's Lot, that now it's finally going to be released on Max. And if you're going to be watching this movie or not. I really do feel for the filmmakers and everybody involved who were thinking, yeah, this is going to be our chance to really get on the big screen and all of that. And then, it's kind of sad that this is the way it has to be. But so we're still definitely excited to see this film, whether it's on the big screen or not. This film will be coming out October 11th on Max, and we are so ready for it. So let me know your thoughts and opinions on it down below, and if you're going to be watching it or not in the comments. But as always, that's going to do it for me. We're on the road to 35,000 subscribers. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We are so close to 35K, less than 3K to go. So make sure you follow us on Instagram at It's Culture Elixir, as well as our website, www.cultureelixir.com. I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.